let's have the second session on film evaluation. Okay, I'm going to take the inspiration from what is the name for the Henk Hoekstra. Henk Hoekstra, the Dutch film scholar. Okay, because I was one of the student of Henk Hoekstra, and when he came to India, I traveled along with him to give film appreciation sessions, and I learned this particular technique. That is what I'm going to give you today. And to put you into the context, okay, 5 days we have 5 areas for concentration, for learning. The first day, introduction to film appreciation. Second day, techniques. Third day, critical evaluation, critical analysis. Fourth day, totally devoted to film appreciation. And fifth day, training methodologies. This is how the whole program has been designed. And our focus is Asia, okay? That's the reason why we take more films from Asian perspective, okay? And then why this evaluation and critical analysis, why evaluation, etc.? Because Signis comes, believes in the school of media education, okay? What is all about media education? Media education talks about 3 important principles. Number 1, critically analyze media products, number 1, okay? Number 2, get to know how the messages are constructed. This is the reason why we learned about film language, how the film is made, etc. How messages are constructed. And the third one, how we can participate in media activities. So all the time we cannot remain as passive spectators. We should be active participants. Okay, so these are the 3 main principles of media education of Signis, and cinema is very much part of it. Film appreciation is very much part of it. From this angle only, we are approaching this program also. For the simple reason, mass media, we have altogether 5 mass media functioning in the world and in Asia also: radio, television, cinema, newspaper, and internet. Okay. So when mass media was introduced, they had 3 noble, sacred, wonderful objectives. Number 1, to inform people. Okay. Number 2, to educate people. Number 3, to entertain people. Okay. So these were the 3 noble, sacred objectives when they introduced mass media. Okay. So why information and education, etc.? Because even today, half of the world is going to sleep without food. Okay, how can we tolerate it? How can we accept it? Okay, there's a lot of problem with regard to human dignity, ups and downs. We have 3 worlds altogether: first world, second world, third world. First world, it belongs to rich people, rich countries. The first world, the Europe, the America, etc. And the second world, communist countries. Okay, and the third world, poor countries, the developed and the developing countries like Asia and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and many of the Asian countries. We all belong to the third world countries. And you see the difference between the first world and the third world, lots and lots of difference. In fact, the gap is increasing. The poverty, the helplessness, the hopelessness, the sick, all kinds of disease, in this situation, in this context, what is the role of mass media, whose noble objective is to inform, educate, and then entertain? That is where we have to apply this critical mind. That is the reason why we are introducing this particular session: evaluation, critical analysis of films or cinema. Okay, because cinema has profound influence on our behavior, belief, attitude, etc. To give you one small example, a few years back, the place where I live in, okay, the teacher asked the student, 15 years old student, you should get signature from your parents because you have scored very less marks. That's it. Okay. What happened after 2 days, when the teacher was sitting alone in the classroom, the boy went with a knife. Remember, 15 years old boy went with a knife, stabbed her in 27 places. 27 times he stabbed her. On the spot, the teacher died. The age of the teacher was 33. Okay. This was the situation. The inspector was asking the boy, who was not at all disturbed. after committing murder, he was just simply sitting casually. The inspector went and asked, what inspired you? Where did you learn this habit, etc.? He told, I saw Agnipath. There's a Hindi film, Agnipath, 22 times. I learned how to kill a person. Okay. It talks a lot. On one hand, intolerance. On the other hand, impatience. On the other hand, moral values and social values, dignity, respect for life, killing your own teacher. Your own teacher, we call teacher as God. We give the second place, the God and the parents and the teacher. Okay, this is a hierarchy to whom we give respects. So this is a situation. So cinema has profound influence on the children, on the family, and the society, etc. But the filmmakers, are they socially responsible? As Father Janit said, as Vikasji said, on one hand, we need to appreciate, enjoy all that film can give us. At the same time, since it has grown like a mountain, okay, we also have to understand it with critical mind. We have to apply our critical mind. Then only we can enjoy, take what is necessary, and discard what is unnecessary. Okay. From this point of view only, we are introducing this film evaluation so that we safeguard ourselves, but at the same time, we don't compromise on enjoying the beauty, the aesthetics, the goodness, the film can offer us. So with this in mind only, we are going to approach this particular session. Okay. Okay. Let me go to my PPT. Okay. Are you able to see my slides? Maria?
Yes.
Yes, Leo.
The session is on film evaluation based on the ideas and concepts and suggestions by Father Henk Oekstra, okay, a Dutch film scholar. Okay. So there are 20 questions. I keep in mind your role also as a facilitator. I put myself in your role. After this program, when you approach the students in Paris's, in college, in educational institution, etc., this one technique will be very helpful to you to handle a film evaluation session. Okay. You can just Xerox the paper which has been given in the notebook. Okay. Then show a short film, ask them to fill it up, and have a thorough discussion, point by point by point. Okay. If you do this exercise for 5 short films, then all the questions will be implanted in their unconscious mind. So whenever they see a film, all these questions will pop up. Okay. All these questions will appear. So that they analyze, they evaluate, at the same time they enjoy what the film can give. So that is the exercise we are going to do. The first one is, how do you find the title? The whole the exercise is divided into 3 parts. Okay, the first part, the content. The second part, techniques, presentation. The third part is technique. So the first part, first 8 to 9 questions are related to the content of the entire film. The next set of questions is related to the presentation, how it is presented. Sometimes the content is good. If the presentation is bad, people won't be able to take it. We won't be able to enjoy it. Okay. On one hand, content is very good. Presentation is very, very good, but technically it is poor. And then, I don't like to see that film. Okay. So all the 3 aspects carry equal weight. Okay. The content, the presentation techniques, and also the techniques. All the 3 things carry equal weight. So let's look at the first part, the content part. Okay. Under the content part, the first question is, how do you find the title? Okay. The title is your audience first impression. Usually, this is a very famous proverb. First impression is a best impression. There are some people who go for films only by knowing the title, hearing the title, etc. Title is your audience first impression of what your screenplay is about. Okay. Yesterday, a little bit we discussed about screenplay. Okay. The title sets the tone for your screenplay. More or less tell you what the film is going to be. Okay. Titles help people to decide whether to see the film or not. Okay. Hence what the movie is about. It acts like a motivator for you to go to the theater. It pushes you to the theater to see the film. Sometimes it helps you to take part, emotionally, etc. So title is a very, very important thing. It's almost like a face of the film to certain extent. Okay, you have the questionnaire. There are 5 columns. The first one is 5, second one is 4, next one is 3, next one is 2, and the last one is 1. 5 is extremely good. I simply like this. Okay, I literally like this. I adore this particular title. You can give 5 marks. No, this is after seeing the film. Okay, no, this is not. So title is okay, but not highly relevant. 4, it's average only. It's in and out. Okay, 3, no, it's not. It's not that good. 2, it's below average. There's no connection at all between the film and the title. Give 1 mark. This is how grading. This is how you put the marks. Okay, so this is the first question. And okay, sorry. Let me go to the second one. Okay, we will come back to the examples a little later. The second one is, how do you find the central theme of the film? Every film revolves around a central theme. Okay, so from now on, when you go for a film, after having viewed the film, you must reflect, think in your mind, what is the central theme of the film? Yes, there are many things. There are different plots, there are different climaxes, conflicts, etc. But what is the central theme? Okay, the film is chasing. The central theme or idea of a story is a message the writer wants to give to the audience. The THP, take home point. Finally, he puts it in the plate and offers you. This is the central theme. The main idea can be through 3 ways. It can come through dialogue, it can come through plot, or it can come through character. Okay, but nevertheless, you must reflect upon what is the central theme. Is it clear to you? Okay, does the central theme influence you? Does it elevate you? Does it make you reflect, meditate? Okay, what is how the central theme comes out, how it is treated well, how it is given to you. So many questions you must raise in your mind. Okay, then again go for grading. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so there's no time to discuss further, but just keep this in your mind. The children, the audience to whom you are giving the program, they should think, what does it really mean? The central theme really mean? Okay, the third one is, does the film reflect the reality? Okay, so many people may ask, should it reflect the reality? Some people may ask, why should? Okay, but many of the sociologists and film scholars say film must reflect the reality. Okay, there's no other go. It should reflect the reality. Now you may spend several thousands of dollars to make the film. You may pour baskets and baskets of money, dollars, etc. But nevertheless, it should depict the reality. It should highlight the situations of reality. That's very, very important. An audience, irrespective of what the film is, no matter what the film is, cannot psychologically connect with the storyline or its characters if it does not possess a certain amount of realism. Okay, the realism should be part and parcel of any film. Okay, you may follow any genre, but inside there must be a layer. Okay, which should have realism. That's very, very important. This is what the scholars talk about. Okay, does it reflect the reality? Okay, then again go for the grading system. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have crossed 3 important points with regard to the context. Okay, then we go to the next one. Is a conflict presented in the film clear to you? Yesterday and day before yesterday, we have been discussing about the conflict. Okay, any drama should have a conflict, right? In literature and film, conflict is a clash between 2 opposing forces that creates the narrative thread for a story. We discussed also about narrative, okay, the storyline, the story, what the director tries to communicate, okay, through the film, etc. There is a conflict. If the conflict is confusing, totally confusing, and no way to understand it, then that's not good according to the scholars, especially Henk Oistra. He strongly feels the conflict should be made clear to you, at least to some extent. Otherwise, he will be groping in the dark. He will be crawling in the dark, floating in the dark, not knowing what to do, how to proceed. The mental connection will be cut. Okay. The conflict occurs when the main character struggles with either an external conflict or an internal conflict. This must be clear to the audience. Otherwise, he'll be preoccupied with where to go, how to go, where to move, etc. So he will be totally lost. So his participation or emotional involvement will be cut from the film. Okay. So the conflict should be made somewhat clear to the audience. Okay. This is a fourth important point with regard to the content. Let's go to the fifth one. Does the film lead you into transcendence? Okay, this applies to all the film. Okay, what do you mean by transcendence? Okay, okay, one sec. Transcendence is nothing but is the act of raising above something to a superior state. So before entering into the theater, I was in one particular state. But after having come out of the theater, do I feel I have been raised to a higher level? Okay, that's called transcendence. Spiritually or morally or socially, something this should have done. Again, I go back to Father Janith, who said, if you pay 100 rupees, you should benefit 100 rupees. Okay, you should not lose all the money and come out with zero. Okay, so transcendence comes from the Latin prefix trans, meaning beyond, and the word scandare, meaning to climb. Okay, so when you achieve transcendence, you have gone beyond ordinary limitation. I have a very small little clipping for you. Let us look at this small little clipping and then discuss further. This will tell you what do we really mean by transcendence. Okay, where is a clipping? Okay, is the one, I don't know. The sixth point is, does the film uphold human dignity? This is another important point. Okay, human dignity is a recognition that human beings possess. It is a special value central to our humanity, a respect simply because we are human beings. Thus, every human being, regardless of age, ability, status, gender, ethnicity, etc., is to be treated with respect. Now we'll have to think, especially some of the commercial films, the profit, the people who want to make profit, who have vested interest, who want to mint money, they are exploiting the medium, and those are the people who are giving some rubbish, sorry to use this particular term. Okay. The so-called formula, the so-called people produce formula film. Okay, there are some fight scenes, there are some romance, there are some songs, there are some rape scenes, there are some dances, etc., and they package everything and then show this is exactly what the general public see. They go and see in the theater. So they must be taught, they must be told that there is another area, there's another situation where you have to really reflect upon. Okay, please take care of human dignity, treat people for what they are. Okay, so the children should be told, told to raise this particular question. In this film, how the characters are represented, how the poor is depicted, how children is depicted, how the women is depicted. Okay, do they give due respect to women, the children, the elderly people, or they are getting ill-treated unduly, unnecessarily, just to create unwanted, just to create emotions for you to make money, etc. So this is a very, very important point. Does the film uphold human dignity? Again, go for grading 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. Okay, so if they do this exercise 4 or 5 times, automatically when they see a film, all these things will pop up. No, the woman is terribly ill-treated. I don't like this film. I don't know what the hell the director introduced this particular scene. etc. So they must raise this question while watching the film. And the seventh one is, how far do you agree with the ending of the film? This is related to content. The most important role of an ending is to provide resolution to the complexities provided through the story. Yesterday we talked about the storyline, the three sections, etc. So at the end, there must be some kind of resolution, or leave the story as it is and leave the responsibility to decide to the people. Let them reflect. Let they go home, reflect, and come to some kind of conclusion, right? But nevertheless, you prepare themselves enough to come to the conclusion. So the most important role of ending is to provide resolution to the complexities of the provided through the day, through the story. At its most pure, the ending is a way out of the story, both for the characters and the viewer. You must think how beautifully the director has ended the film. A wonderful solution, acceptable solution. It makes me think, makes me reflect, a lot of lessons, a lot of, I feel highly elevated. I feel it is useful, beneficial, etc. Okay, then go for grading, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is the seventh question related to the content according to Father Enk Hoistra. Okay, we'll come back to the films a little later. Okay, okay. And because since there is not much time, I'm just rushing. Eighth question is, how do you find the values presented in the film? We need to discuss about values. On one side, the beauty, aesthetics, the color, shots, techniques, etc., etc. But at the same time, with regard to the content, we must raise this question: what kind of values the film is offering us? Okay, numerous studies reveal the influence of films on people's beliefs, opinions, stereotypes, and attitudes. We form opinions, we form our behavior based on the characters, the dialogue, the film language used by the director, the central theme, etc. Because film is a synthesis of all medium. There is dance, there is color, there is drum beat, there's music, there's a movement of shot. It's so powerful. The medium is so powerful. We forget ourselves. We totally engross ourselves in the film. Completely silent. Everything goes into the unconscious mind of the audience. Okay, straight, and they go deep down. And the psychologists say whatever goes into your unconscious mind cannot be removed just like that. It stays there for a long, long time unless you deliberately take them out and throw it away. Okay, if good things go in, absolutely fantastic. Okay, if good things goes in, as some of you pointed out, if good things goes in, thank God, fantastic. It develops my life. It helps my life to progress, flourish, prosper, etc. But if unwanted elements go in, okay, then there is a question. We are not talking about good and bad. We always raise a question about useful and unuseful. Okay, is it useful? Is this idea useful to me? Is this particular point useful to me or not useful to me? Okay. So the combined impact of images, music, dialogue, lighting, sound, and special effects can elicit deep feelings and help us reflect on our lives, especially the children today. Okay, when a child is watching the film, even if you go and call them, they don't bother. They are not. They won't answer you. They won't respond to you because they are so involved in the film. Such is the power of this particular medium. Okay, they can only help us to better understand our own lives and people around us and our society and culture. So whatever is communicated in the form of content, they must have some positive impact. They must offer us some positive values, positive attitudes, positive belief system based on which I can build up my life. I go back to the objectives of mass media: information, education, and entertainment. Okay, so this is very, very important with regard to the content. Especially a country like India, every day 3 crores of films spend their time in film theaters. Okay, and if you take television, every day, if you calculate the number of feature films, every day more than 24 films are beamed through the television. Okay. Some of the television channel, the only job is to show feature films, because they can save time. 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. They can simply show the film. And the housewives, nothing else to do. They sit there at home and they watch these films. And what kind of message these films are communicating to them is a real question. So this is where the point of social responsibility comes into the whole picture. The producers, the directors, the filmmakers should have certain amount of social responsibility when they write the play, when they use a film language, when they use techniques, when they build up stories, when they direct, when they make the representation, through the characters, etc. They must keep in their mind. As Father Janet pointed out on the first day, the film belongs to you till you produce. After that, it is a property of people. So when you give the property to the people, you must think, you must treat them as your sons and daughters. Would you give this to your son and daughter? Okay, the same thing should be given to common people. This is where we really profoundly we raise this question of social responsibility. The content of the film should have this particular aspect. Okay, then the next question is, let us come to the presentation part. The first part is over. All those points are related to the content part. Okay, now come to the presentation part. Okay, how do you find the opening of the film? If you are not able to create some kind of dynamism, some kind of impact, some kind of effect, dramatic effect in the beginning itself, okay, it may be a little difficult for you to capture the audience back into the track. This is another important point. The opening scene is meant to create certain impact on the audience, perhaps to shock them or to keep them gripped, creating tension. If you go to the film, if you think of the film Gandhiji, the actual story of Gandhiji, if you want to project present, you must go to Porbandar, okay? Porbandar and the hospital, and the Gandhiji is born, okay? And the mother, the cry of the mother, and the father of Gandhiji, etc., etc. So you must begin from there. But how Attenborough begins a film? The first scene is how the Gandhiji shot down, okay? And then he died. The whole film starts with this is also an example for screenplay, how you want to project the whole story on the screen, okay? You must start with some kind of impact, effect, push in the beginning itself. Otherwise, it will be damn difficult for you to pull back the audience and raise them to a particular level. The dynamism would have been lost in the process. Okay. The opening scene provides the audience with a good deal of background information about what is going on, the characters, etc. You set the signpost in the beginning. When I say set the signpost in the beginning itself, you more or less you tell the context, what is going to happen, how it is going to happen, who are all the main characters, etc. But open with a big bang. Okay, we always use this particular formula: open with a big bang and end with something worth remembering. The thought, the noble thought should linger in your mind even after having seen the film for a long time. Okay, some kind of reflective, it should leave you into a reflective mood, etc. So this is number one with regard to the presentation. The next one is how do you like the screenplay? Okay, the story may be something, but how the director has written the screenplay in a very presentable form, so that we are with the characters, with the locations, with the costume, makeup, the actors, etc., full and full, completely involved from the beginning till the end. How the story is told in a beautiful manner, captivating manner. Okay, the screenplay is a guide for the producers, directors, actors, crew of exactly what will appear on the screen. Okay, and for the Benny also talked about this. Okay, it tells a complete story, contains all actions and characters. Okay, this is regard to the screenplay, etc. The mood of a scene is how it looks and feels emotionally to the audience. Okay, the real question is, does the screenplay help us to understand and travel with the story and the characters, or get distracted and get confused? Okay, does it confuse us? Does it distract us? Or there are several times we have felt, you see the beginning of the film, all of a sudden you see the title intermission. Oh my God! Again, you come to the theater, see the film, then all of a sudden the film ends. oh my God, then you realize what a screenplay, fantastic, because every bit of it, demanded my emotional participation. Okay. So the screenplay is a wonderful technique to present a particular story. Okay, this is very, very important. Go to the marking system 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, has the screenplay been presented in a beautiful manner? No? Without any confusion, chaos, distractions, etc. Okay, then 5, then 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is with regard to the a screenplay. The next one is, how do you find the development of the story? Okay, we all know that story is one of the most important backbone of the whole film. Okay, the true art of storytelling. Okay, Vikasji talked about the storytelling, and Father Benny talked about, and Father Jenny talked about storytelling, which forms the backbone of the entire film. The true art of storytelling involves writing active characters, okay, who engage the audience, because they are used as a representatives, representations, etc. They are the real storytellers. Okay, has the story been told in a nice manner? Okay, in a beautiful manner, in a clear manner, in an understanding manner. It helps us to focus on what is happening in the story. Okay, of course, script, locations, lighting, visual effects, camera movement, and strong cinematography all attempt to tell the story in a best possible way. Okay, but it has to be told in a neat manner. Okay, they need not be too much ups and downs, etc. It should told in an harmonious manner. Okay, you may use lots of techniques, but nevertheless you must keep the audience in your grip, in your hands, etc. Okay, so that's all about the screenplay. Does the film demand emotional participation, which is a very, very important component in film? If a film does not demand your emotional participation, feelings, emotions, etc., then the director has somewhere done something wrong. Okay, or something is wrong somewhere. The main pillar in the experience of watching films is the emotional quotient, emotional component. Okay, this is very, very important. So you must think deeply, very emotionally involved in the film. Did it evoke lots of feelings? Okay, did it evoke the spirit in me? This is very, very important. Then go to the columns 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then another important aspect is, do you feel your time has been spent well and you have enriched much from the film? Okay. So we have not gone to the technical aspects, etc. But nevertheless, we have to focus on all these things. Okay. Number one, films shape our perception. Okay, films shape our perception because of the power it has. Okay, we surrender ourselves in the theater. We surrender ourselves to the screen, to the makeup, to the costume, to the actors, etc. Such a powerful medium. That's the reason why they shape up our perception. Okay, they shape our perception of the world, the way we see. Okay, we are living in right now. They shape our perception of the world, the way we are living right now, regardless of the period they are set in. Okay, maybe it must have taken several years back. Um, uh, you know, don't worry about the years, the time it was taken, etc. But right now, what kind of effect it has on me? Okay. Number two, films inspire social change. I'm a sociologist. That's the reason. That's one of the reasons. And also, I'm a member of Signis, which has strong belief in media education, which talks about critical analysis of mass media. Okay, so films inspire social change. They offer experience outside our perspective. They should inspire social change. Okay, they inspire empathy. Feel with the other. Feel with the poor. Feel with the downtrodden. Feel with the neglected. Feel with the slum people. Feel with the isolated, the distressed. Okay, the downtrodden, and raise politically charged questions. Okay, it should raise questions about the conservative family, how women are treated in the families, how children are treated in the family, how the poor people are treated in the family. It should raise some questions. Okay, any film for that matter, either fully or bit by bit. Three, films are a safe space to find alternative role models to identify with and observe how they tackle challenges. Okay, I am a media education professional. I go to many schools and colleges in India, almost one program a month or two programs a month. Okay, the moment I start the session or at the end of the session, all the parents will come to me and then tell me, sir, my child is getting spoiled because of the film. Sir, my child, I'm not able to have any control over him. All the time he's seeing the film and getting spoiled. He smokes, this is on the one side. Okay. On the other side, we also see fantastic role models in the film. Okay. Fantastic role models, fantastic characters which give excellent, role models, behavior, attitudes, etc. So here the point is films are a safe space to find alternative role models to identify with, okay, and observe how they tackle challenges. So also there's no point in blaming the filmmakers, film, etc. We must tell our children, see the film, however bad it is, kindly see what the goodness in the film, what I can learn. Is there any character which has something to offer me? Okay, can I take that particular person as a role model? The character may be small in nature. Okay, what I can learn from that. Right? So this is very important. We must tell the children to do that. At times they offer metaphors or symbols to deal with major life challenges. Okay, there are several examples. I'm sorry, because of the time, I'm not able to give you examples. The last point here is when watching films, we admire something beautiful. Okay, learn about world and ourselves, connect with communities, and contribute to positive social change. Okay, so children need to be taught to admire something beautiful. The last day for the Zenith is going to spend complete day, the fourth day and part of fifth day on this film appreciation, how to approach films in a very positive manner. Okay, so we will learn more on that particular day. But nevertheless, let's keep all these four important points in our mind. Okay, do you feel your time has been spent well and you have enriched much from the film? If it is 100% yes, give 5 marks. Otherwise 4, then 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then okay. The next important point is, would you recommend this film to your friend? Okay. There must be a reason why for the Ink Orchestra put this particular question to the audience. Okay. Because films help us to understand each other on a deeper level. We recommend a film to others because we want them to have a similar experience. Often we tell, friend, you should see this film. Why? Because after having seen this film, I feel I have become a different person. It influenced me profoundly. I feel something great. I have found my inner strength. Okay, I feel a bit more. I've become more stronger. You must see this film. You must see this film by all means. I recommend this because I love my friend. I want my friend to have similar experience what I underwent. Okay, so we recommend a film to the others because we want them to have similar experience. This helps them to understand us better. We understand each other. So the friendship grow. Okay, that's the reason why this particular question has been put. Would you recommend this film to your friend? You can also come with negative answer. No. Please don't see this film. It's a waste of time. Don't see this film. You'll kill yourself. Okay. You will waste your money. Don't see this film. It's a waste of time. It is rubbish. There's nothing in that. Some people may say that. Some people may say that, see, on the whole, it may not be helpful, but there are some portions which are unique in nature. Definitely, it'll help you. Okay. So you qualify your recommendation. You can do that also. So nevertheless, we have to keep this particular point in our mind. Would you recommend this film to your friend? Okay. Then how do you like the background music? Okay. Now we come to the last part, the last 5 questions. Okay. How do you like the background music? Does it enhance the quality of the film? The type and tempo, the type and tempo of the soundtrack being played as background music allow the audience to know about the theme of the movie. Through and through, the camera and the music, they come along. Okay. That's the reason why music plays a very, very important role in elevating a spirit, evoking your emotions, feelings, etc. It helps viewers to understand the plot. Yesterday we talked about that. So you must learn the art of appreciating music, understanding music, enjoying the music. Okay, does the film enhance the quality of the film, or you feel no, the music is disturbing me, distracting me? Without the music I would have enjoyed it better. Okay, probably silence would have been better. How do you assess the music in this particular film? Okay, 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, give your marks. Then the next important point is how do you like the camera work? Okay, at the beginning of today's session, Vikasji asked, about the steady cam, etc. Okay, or the high angle shot, low angle shot. Why he kept repeating this question? Because we need to understand. It's not only important for the director or camera person, also the audience. We need to know the film language, the camera movements, the angles, the meaning of each shot, etc. Okay, so the cinematography sets and supports the overall look and mood of the film visual narrative. Okay, so visual storytelling. So each visual element that appears on the screen, the mise-en-scene, yesterday we talked about it, and yesterday Vikasji explained about that. All that we see on the screen, okay, can serve and enhance the story. It is cinematographer's responsibility to ensure that every element is cohesive, close to each other, touching each other, connected to each other, and support the whole story. So you need to be a cinematographer. May not be handling the camera, but nevertheless you should know the shot sizes, angles, movements, the focus, etc. Okay, this is very, very important. Very much part of film language. Again, go to the grading 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, then how do you like the acting part? How do you like the acting part? Do they reflect the real life characters? Okay, we see in some of the Asian films, especially the South Asian films, exaggeration. Okay, they exaggerate the character. But if you see Satyajit Ray and Mrunal Sen and Govind Nilani, they are all very famous film directors. You see actors on the screen and you see people on the real life situation. There's no difference. Okay, that is how the directors project the characters on the scene. More closer to reality. Okay, an actor at their very core are the storytellers. This is confirmed. All of us know. Okay, art and acting are the performance. These two are the performances, are expressions of life. Okay, they express the cultures, our worries, our love, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our existential curiosity. Okay, that's the reason why we need to focus on the particular acting. Okay, do they reflect? Are they like any other person whom we see in real life situation, or this is an exaggerated version of the particular character? Okay, so how do you like the acting part? Many of the actors are given award, Oscar award or Cannes festivals, etc. The reason is, they depict the characters in real life situations. Okay, observation. They observe the real characters for months. Sometimes for months they observe, and then they try to depict them on the screen. That's why they get the awards, etc. Number 18. How do you like the editing part? That when you say editing part, there are three things: rhythm, the shot changeover. Okay, at equal intervals. Like when you go to the ICU, intensive care unit, there's a monitor. The wires are connected between your heart, your body, and the monitor. The rhythm goes nicely. Okay, the shot changeover, not too fast, not too slow, etc. Okay, this is called rhythm in editing. The second one is pace, the speed of the film. I gave you an example. The film is started. Okay, you watch the film. All of a sudden, intermission. Oh my God! You feel, oh, so fast the film went. This is called the pace, because all the crafts have been carried out beautifully, have been used carefully. Okay, the actors act well, the cinematography is fantastic, the music is so good. There are lots of symbolism, the movement, etc. That's the reason why you don't understand the speed of the film. It goes a bit fast. Okay. The third one is tempo. What is tempo? Speed and the feeling. Okay. The film is moving fast. At the same time, you're able to emotionally involve in the film. So all these things can be created through editing. I still remember Father Benny talking yesterday, the films are made in two different tables. The first table is screenplay writing table. The second table is editing table. A bad story can be made a good story in the editing table. Okay. So this is very, very important. Editor is a very, very important person. You know, sometime the director must have forgotten something, but somehow the editor can make it up. Okay, thanks to his skills and techniques, technical knowledge, etc. And 19, we are coming to the end. How do you like the costume used in the film? Okay, the costumes are one of many tools the director uses to tell the story. Yesterday and yesterday we talked about it. Okay, costumes communicate the details of a character's personality. I gave you an example of the character in Satyajit Ray's film. Okay, personality and helps actors transform into new and believable people on the screen. Okay, I must believe in those characters. Okay, most important, the audience must believe that every person in a story has a life before the movie begins. It is not created on the screen just for the sake of creating one. We see these people even before we see them on the screen. Okay, that shows the origin, you know, the originality of the character. They are real. They are more or less like real characters. Okay, appearing on the screen. So the costume, makeup, they're all very, very important. The last one is how do you like the locations where the film has been shot? Okay, a great movie location will provide various areas to arrange your scenes. Okay, location is regarded as one of the most important characters in a film script. Choosing the right location for your project could make or break your project. Okay, this is the last thing. Location is very, very, very important. I have many video footage to show, but unfortunately there's no time. I hope if Vikasji permits me, I'll take for about just for about 3 to 4 minutes to show two clippings. Okay, with that I will wind up. The first one is a scene from Bombay. Okay, let me give you one small little example. A couple going to Mumbai from a remote village. Okay, they try to settle down, and there is a communal clash because a 400 years old mosque is demolished. Okay, and a particular community gets wild, and they get into violence, taking the law into their hands because their sentiment has been terribly affected. Okay, in that situation, the children are lost and the parents are searching for their children. This is a whole scene. Okay, and the scene I'm going to show you is not the real scene. It is a set. Okay, the entire location is artificially created thanks to the art director, you know, who has created this particular set. So that is a scene I'm going to show you now. And then we go to the other example and then finish up the session.